Good morning, friends. So, today is day 17 of our series of enhancing my communication as well as my pronunciation as well as my enunciation in English, in Hindi, and to be a better speaker. So, today we are going to read the book Open Eyed Meditation as we are reading, and the author of this book is Dr. Subha Vilas. Today we are going to read lesson or chapter An Idea to Prevent Hacking of Ideas, which is chapter number 22 on the page number 90. So let's start. Very small lesson. So today's video is going to be very small, about 10 to 15 minutes, I think so. So let's start. An idea to prevent hacking of ideas. Can you really hack ideas from another's brains? The history of this universe starts with Madhu and Ketav hacking the Vedas from Brahma's brain and dashing away with the loot. If it weren't for the first cyber police, Vishnu, the original hackers might have got away and history would have been written differently. Water, when stored in the place, stinks if unused. Flowing water retains its ever freshness. Vishnu rectified this by incarnating as Vyas and freely distributing the same knowledge through his disciples and books. How many brains would the Madhus and Ketavas of this world need to hack now? Whether it is Vyas or Tukaram or Purandar Das or Tulsi Das, each tried to not just acquire the knowledge but to distribute knowledge in allowing their knowledge to flow. They ensured it remained ever fresh in millions of hearts. One cannot claim proprietorship over ideas. Inspirational ideas are never conceived by force, they are received by grace. Rather than trying to store knowledge or ideas for professional aggrandizement, one should distribute them for communal enhancement. Knowledge, creativity, intelligence are gifts of grace. They should not be kept restricted but allowed to be shared with others. The sharing keeps knowledge fresh and fragrant, whereas stored knowledge becomes stagnant and stale. Our aim should be to distribute knowledge wholeheartedly for boosting community upliftment. So, due to I'm thinking that this chapter is almost about one page and it didn't help us to practice more. So, I'm going to read another chapter, which is a broad chest and slim waist the right figure, and after that we will summarize both chapters after doing the exercises, and we will finish the video after that. And after this, I'm using a lot of after and I have to replace it, but I'm not able to replace them. So this chapter's name is a broad chest and slim waist the right figure. Let's start, or not. I'm not going to overthink about it. Is a broad chest and slim waist the right figure? Getting into the right shape takes so much effort. Probably the only thing tougher than getting into the right shape is staying in the right shape. While one would agree that a broad chest and slim waistline is the right shape for the body, one remains clueless as to what would be the best shape for the mind. The scintillating story of Sabri Muni's mistake from the Bhagavad Puran gives us a hint of the right shape for the mind. Deciding to stay away from the distracting world, he sat at the bottom of a lake and performed austerities by taking charge of his senses. His mind had a broad chest pumped up with pride of being the controller, but the waistline of his mind was slim owing to lack of loving relationship with friends and peers. He preferred isolation to company. He was uncomfortable with anyone advising him or correcting him or even entering his zone of control. Though he had left everything in the world in pursuit of higher things, he had quietly retained his pride. That pride subtly convinced him that he was the undisputed controller of the lake he was meditating in. Naturally, that meant that all the fishes living in that lake were his dependent subordinates. The problem emerged when Garud, the king of eagles, entered the lake searching for fish. When the fishes ran to him helplessly for protection, his mind got a reconfirmation of his ownership. The joy of being in control gave him a high. The result was that out of pride he offended his superior Garud by banning him from that lake. Garud left silently, leaving Subari to his lonely destiny. Soon, Subari deviated from focusing on the goal of his life and focused on getting higher and higher weight of experiencing the kick of being in charge. Very soon, the very fishes that he tried to protect became the cause of his degradation. Seeing the fishes enjoying themselves, Shobari developed a desire to enjoy like them. His pride prevented him from consulting anyone, and his ego had never allowed anyone to be his well-wishing friend. He left the privacy of the lake and went back into the world of distractions, absorbing himself in reckless enjoyment, pride in his own abilities, and lack of accommodation of others' love resulted in a disfigured mind. The right figure for the mind is to have a slim chest with no egoistic vanity and a broad waist filled with loads of love to accommodate others. The greatest obstacle to love is pride. Pride acts like a thick transparent glass wall that prevents any loving transaction from preventing when someone tries to enter into a proud person's domain. That transparent wall bounces him or her off, though a proud person seems accessible since they are visible. The transparent wall of pride does not allow any access, neither physically nor audibly. As a result, a proud person remains aloof not just from loving exchanges but also from wise advice. They prefer to live in an island of their own loneliness, surrounded by vast salty waters of their own achievements. The symptom of a proud person is that he bathes in the shower of self-glorification while viciously spraying others with a hosepipe of criticism. The only way they feel they can be under a permanent spotlight of fame is through self-assurance that no one is good as they are. Therefore, they auto-degrade others to preserve their cherished limelight. Proud people are fanatically convinced that they deserve what they desire. Naturally, they act like a proud bull that cannot accommodate anyone that even faintly seems like competition, because they are in love with themselves so seriously they have neither time nor any capacity to love someone else. The combination of self love and auto degradation of others makes a proud person lonely. Loneliness is the byproduct of pride. Every balloon has an inflation limit defined by its stretch capacity and its proximity to a pin. Similarly, every arrogant person has a pride limit of his ego, which is determined by time factor and proximity to a pride buster. When the pride limit is reached, a pride buster is triggered. A busted ego, often called an embarrassment, pride ends in embarrassment too awkward to declare to the world. Should humility develop by such humiliation only? Can it develop by realization based on knowledge and guidance? Yes, it can, provided one is ready to place down the heavy baggage of pride and share the weight of wisdom from others' heads. While pride pushes away others, humility pulls in others. While pride brings in loneliness, humility brings in guidance. While pride brings in embarrassments, humility brings in acceptance. The workout for the body is to push against heavy weights. Similarly, the workout in for the mind is to push against the weight of thinking. I don't need anyone and pull in positive love while attempting to retain the broad chest and thin waist for the body. One should endeavor to get the distorted mind in the right shape too. When the mind develops a thin chest devoid of pride and a broad waist that is filled with love, then it has fallen into perfect shape. Rather than proudly exhibiting one's impressive body shape, one should take pride in exhibiting one's inspiring mental shape. Exhibition of a well-chiseled bodily shape is a matter of pride and presentation. Of well-developed mental shape is a matter of humility. Perfect bodily shape is a worth taking selfies. Of perfect mental shape is a worth being photographed by others. We need to work towards not only a perfect body shape, but more importantly towards a perfect mental shape. Pride in our own abilities and lack of accommodation of others' love results in disfigured mind. Pride creates distance and keeps love at bay. It demands self-glorification while degrading others, love for self and criticism for others. Loneliness is a byproduct of such pride. Replacing pride with humility eliminates the loneliness and the embarrassment if one is ready to share wisdom and guidance from others. This is the much desired right shape of mind. Thank you.
So we completed the first exercise. Now we are going to start the second exercise, and before starting it, I am going to put my phone in charging because the battery